Good evening. Happy Wednesday night, you guys. I appreciate you being here. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. And don't mind me, guys. I'm just getting my final touch-ups set up here, just kind of getting all my tools here. And thanks for being here, guys. We're gonna work on some basketball cards tonight, if that's cool with you guys. All right, so we're gonna do that. And I got a little variety here tonight, you guys. So thanks for being here. Cheers to you guys. Hope the week is off to a good start. And good to see all you guys, man. Thanks everybody for being here. Tonight we got some good stuff, you guys. I promise you. Yeah, we got a Jordan rookie sticker. That's one of my favorite basketball cards ever. Okay, so we got a good one there. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Thanks for taking the time to be here tonight, guys. And if you're new, my name's Kurt. And my company's called Kurt's Card Care, and I love working on cards, teaching stuff that I know how to do, and we do this here live on Wednesday nights. And hey, for sure, Eric, of course, buddy. I'll always reply to you. You guys know that. If anybody ever has questions for me, man, I think my job is this: I make cool card products for cards. I make demonstrations, and I answer questions about cards all day. So if any of those things are needed, I'm your guy. All right, so. But yeah, good to see you guys. And tonight, I love these cards. Do you guys know these? If you're 40 years old or older, you try to get these out of packs. So I love these. These were Beam Teams. I think Stadium Club was one of the first premium cards when I was a kid. And it's one of my favorites. And I also respect David Robinson a lot. He's a really good guy. If you guys don't know much about him. If you're like me, you're kind of like collector and historian. Whenever I find cool cards, I like to look these guys up, you know? Yeah, this is a standard. So if you're a basketball fan and a collector, 90s and up, this is a card that's in your collection. But here's what I want to show you guys, because this card is probably in your collection. But check this out, you guys. I had a lot of cool stuff to save for some demonstrations, because a few of these cards were stuck together. Can you see the back of this one? See how it has that film right there? You can just tell it's off. And then I want to show you guys something too. Let's just do the David first. We'll do the Robinson first. I wanted to do that one because I love Beam Team cards, and I still probably get once a week somebody send me a picture saying, "Hey, what can I do to a Beam Team? It's a little bit dirty or a little bit got some age on it." And then this one will be fun to you guys. I love cards that are trashed. This was one of my cards that I saved. I found this just the other day, and my patience of holding on to this for you guys. I'm proud of myself, because when I see stuff like this, I have to start working on it. I bought a garage sale box a year ago, and a few of these were at the bottom of it. And it's I don't know. It's just I had a Dr. J like this, and it had a bunch of almost it's like gum stains, but there was not this much gum in these, you know? So just some sort of stain, but this one's cool, so we'll do that. And it's got beat up edges and beat up corners. So a little bit of everything on here, right? So if you guys tonight we got 70s, 80s, and 90s. It's like a classic rock station tonight, okay? So, but let's get on it. So hang out, guys, and we'll do all these together. So Pete can't get too much more hurt than he already is, so we'll be all right with that. But this right here is something that I want to show you guys something under the microscope too, if that's cool. Something I want to show you guys is something I'm going to, right here. This is what caught my eye, is a lot of these cards. And if I got 90s collectors on here, you guys know, I loved 1992. 92 had good cards. They made too many of them, but I mean, Beam Teams, 1992 Marvel Masterpiece, I loved. But they all have this cheap plastic, and they get they'll stick inside those old penny sleeves from the day. So if you see this, you guys, if you're going through cards, if you're at a card show this weekend, always go through the bargain bins, because a lot of collectors will find stuff like this and they'll just be like, "Oh, it's trashed." But no, you can save a lot of them. And hey, Mike, thanks for the question, man. Mike asked me how did I get into restoring cards. I always was into it. I've been a collector since I was a little kid, and then when I would run into stuff like this, I always thought there's got to be a way to take care of it. What is it? And I had a hard time finding answers for that. So I just started I'm kind of a loner, to tell you the truth, man. So like I just always enjoyed hanging out and just doing art projects and just like crafty little things. So I just started working on cards years ago, and that led me to like making my own like brand of stuff that I like to use. I'm just kind of particular. And then I started, then my wife years ago said, hey, make an Instagram channel so you can show people. And I'm like, no way, I don't want to do social media. I'm like, I don't even know what buttons to press. Fast forward a few years and you guys became part of my family, man. So I appreciate you guys for that. So just kind of a lifelong thing. And then I found out a lot of other guys like it too. So let's clean this up. So usually when it's, and if you guys are wondering what I'm saying, like when cards are in like these old sleeves from like the 90s, I think that these were just crappy plastic. I just think that it like, and then through like the years of like humidity and stuff like that, it just transfers over to it. So here's what I want to do. But what I wanted to show you guys was I like to like inspect things, because I see some stuff right here. Like, see the white spots where next to team? Like I see in the E, right? Watch my little light I'm using. So there's like a bump of something right there. But then there's like there's white right there, and it looks like it's missing paint. I can't always just rely on my eyes, you know? So like I use the microscope. So 1 second, guys, I'm a one-man band over here, so I got to get it set up for me, and then I'll show you what I'm looking at. Okay, so let's go up to the microscope, and I'll tell you what I'm seeing. So like right here, what I'm seeing is chipped paint. So I'm not going to try to clean that area off, because if I did, look at it. If I start like wiping on this area, I'm going to chip more paint off. You see what I'm saying, guys? So like inspect it. But whatever this is, it's some sort of something stuck. It clearly was the same whatever this was, but that peeled off. That didn't peel off yet. So we'll see if we can get that off. The stuff that I'm trying to show you guys doesn't show up real well on the microscope, because it's just that weird film. But I like to look at that just so I know what the heck I'm working with. Does that make sense, you guys? So yeah. Oh, yes. Let me look at my questions here. I cannot wait to go to the Detroit Card Show this weekend. I'm definitely going. I'm so happy, you guys. Like, we have a Metro Detroit Card Show that happens like once a month, and it's okay. It's cool. I mean, I like the vendors and I'm sure half the vendors are on the show right now. But like, I am excited because we have a big card show in Detroit this weekend, and it's like got 300 plus tables and all kinds of good stuff going on. So yes, I cannot wait. I think I'm gonna go Friday and Saturday. So if anybody is watching this, and you're going to come to the Detroit Card Show, and you see me, say, hey, I'd love to meet you, or love to catch up. So what I'm going to do, you guys, I'm going to use card polish. That's this stuff right here. This is going to use an applicator. Every time I open up my polish, I just want to go all the way around the surface area. I always want to use it one layer at a time, so do that. So in these cards right here, you guys are really, really shiny. So I don't want to get fingerprints on it. So I'm just going to cover up my left hand and just see if we can get this crap off the card. If you guys don't mind, I just kind of like think out loud and talk, and I answer a lot of questions about cards all day, every day. And I get a variety of them. So you guys, everything I'll just kind of tell you is this kind of stuff I get asked a lot. Like, how hard am I pressing? I'm not pressing really hard at all. Force isn't really a part of it. It's just getting the card polish on here, because the card polish is really good at getting sticky and residuey and junk off of cards, and I find it to be awesome on stuff from the 90s that has like this weird kind of reaction with penny sleeves. As you guys, can you see it already, guys? Can you see that? Like, check this out. We just did, talk about a cool start and stop point. Look at that. So watch the wand light. Well, I did put card polish over there, so never mind. I had to correct myself. I'm like, no, there's a bunch of card polish on there. But look, my point is, I hope I did a good enough job of showing that kind of like stuff that was built up on the card from the sleeve. But look at that, like 30 seconds, it's gone. Isn't that cool? So I know that this is not going to be like a 10 card, because it's got some missing paint up there. But let's just see for the heck of it if we can get that, whatever this residue is, off of the E. Because this is why it's important to analyze looking at this type of stuff. Because if I didn't know any better, like, if there's a way to get this glue off or whatever it is on there, you could have done it the first time. You know, if I would have been able to get my hand on this card before anybody else did, I could have got those, instead of having the paint chip off, like right there, you know, we could have treated it a little bit more gentle and got the stuff off in a careful way. I'm just still looking at one little thing. I won't pine over it too long, but it's just that stuff at the bottom came off really easy. But what I'm seeing right here is just like there's just like this. It's like a resin or a glue or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but I want to try to get it off. So I just put card polish on it and didn't do anything. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of spray and see if that does anything. And another thing I get asked quite a bit, you guys, is like, where do you get all these little like tools and stuff? Amazon. And if you guys, I know Amazon's a big place, so if you ever just are like, well, more specifically, how do I find them? On my website, I have a little a tab called Products We Love. So since I love these products, I got them on there. And hang tight with me, guys, because we got a couple more cards tonight. See, I wish they would just, let's see if I got it. I'm almost all the way off. It's a little annoying little spot there, whatever that is. But always try to get that stuff off, you guys, before, like, just try to look at it before ever picking at it or scratching at it. I don't know how all that white paint came off, but I picture somebody saw those little goobers and scratched at them. Sometimes just a microfiber is not enough, you know. But take a look at the front too. See, like this angle looks really good. It looks really great. But still, when I get it on this angle, it's dull. It just has that finish on it. So this is a couple things I can teach you, guys. Anybody that collects Beam Team stuff, card polish makes it look great. So I'll show you that. Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, you know, the brake mat, the mat, you guys. A friend of mine here on Instagram, the handle is Problem Child Collects. He hit me up and said, hey, man, I want to make you something. Send me a logo. And I sent him a logo, and he sent me this as a present. And I absolutely love it. So shout out to my buddy, Problem Child Collects. I think that's Brandon. So, Brandon, what up, buddy? Thanks, man. And this is the members-only version. Yes, I had a question for that. This is the members-only version Stadium Club. I think that was just like an extra kind of short print. Am I right, guys, that they did? Because it has the stamp on it. If you guys can see it, it says members-only right there. Let's do the top of the Beam Team, then we'll move on. Yeah, for sure. If anybody wants the brake mat information, hit me up so I can remember. I'll forget, but if you send me a message, I will do it. What's up, you guys? I appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking it out tonight. And what's up? And if you guys are just jumping in, I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. I look forward to Wednesday nights because I get to clean some cards and hang out with you guys, and it's just a good way to, for me at least, it's a good way to unwind, man. Life gets busy. Life gets crazy. So that's why it's fun to work on some Beam Teams. But I got a Jordan rookie coming up. And what else do we got coming up? The Pete. Guys, you got to stick around for the Pistol Pete card. It is one of the... it was a really cool... I got it on a big box at a garage sale. And it was literally the bottom of the box. And it was a tall boy. It was beat up. But we'll try to make it look good. So... can you just see the depth now, you guys? Like, and see like how there's no like cloudiness on the foil, and there's no cloudiness. I use that wand light. You guys, wand lights like this. I come from an automotive background, and I was always into dents and detail and stuff like that. So I'd use a wand light like this to look for dents and dings. So if you ever like if you see me handling a card and you're like, God, it's weird how you're like kind of like bouncing around. I'm just watching that light. Really, is what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at the player or the card. Really, I'm just kind of like subconsciously staring through it and looking for imperfections. So check it out. Kick ass, right? That's a great looking card, man. And it's a great basketball player, great guy, David Robinson for sure. Let's move on, man. Let's do the Jordan, because I think that I have a feeling that the Pete's going to take me a while. That looks good, doesn't it? Got some dents on the side too. and it smells like a cigarette, so that's cool too. So I love beat up cards, man. It cracks me up. I'm glad you guys enjoy it too. So thanks for watching. If you guys don't mind, let me just jump up on the. I'm gonna flip this card over. All right. So I'm gonna show you what we're gonna be doing on this one. You guys kind of same stuff, surface junk, and that's like the wax from the wax pack. So we're gonna get to that here in a second. Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for the nice feedback. Appreciate you guys too. If anybody guys like, one thing I'll get a lot of is like, hey Kurt, what do I do on this card? What do I do on this card? I don't mind that question. I love how you're thinking. If you guys don't mind, go to my YouTube page and click on playlists. Everything I know how to do, I make a video of. Even all these right here, these Wednesday Night Lives, I save them because everything I know how to do, I want to show you. And sometimes it's hard for me to get a picture and say, do this, do that, and I'm trying to explain it through the messenger. Check your issue with the YouTube playlist, and then if that helps you, sweet, you're good to go. And if you're not seeing it, feel free to hit me, man. No problem. I'll always take a look for you. All right. So, let me. Oh, I'm looking at Jack's question. Jack, did I miss a spot on the? We got a little. Jack might have noticed we might have a little corner issue. Yeah, that's another video, right? But yeah, we'll get on to the MJ here in a second, you guys. And again, just thanks everybody for being here tonight. I appreciate it, man. So let me move on here, and I will show you guys what to do here. So I love, and it still blows me away that these are still in the wild, that still have these. And if you guys don't know this, a lot of cards from the 80s, and especially prizes like this, like the Michael Jordan rookie sticker, came in the back of the pack, and that's where that wax stain comes from. And for years, and this is a good looking specimen of that card. If we're going to be real picky, it's a little off center. It's sitting a little bit low compared to high, but just an overall beautiful looking card. Great looking rookie card of Jordan. And but nobody wants all that stain on the back. If you guys can see it, I'll get close to it. It's gross, right? You don't want it on there. And the thing is with for years when it came to when it came to this, for a while going back, you can get a lot of this stuff on there. It covers the whole back. It's kind of hard to pick up on the camera, but I think can you guys see it? Oh, you know what I need to do? Let's turn on some more lights. How about that? All right, so you see it? I used to get nylons. I might even get some in here. I'll tell you if I do. No, I don't have any in here right now. But my point is, I used to have pantyhose, nylon material, and it works. You could just do tight little circles over the wax stains. But all it takes is a couple times for me to not like something, and then I'm kind of anxious about it. So here's what happened. I had a card with heavy wax on it, and I started doing my nylons on it. I got it all off. But then when I came back to it, I could notice that I left swirl marks. And I'm very light-handed when it comes to this stuff. And I am a pain in the ass. I'm so particular. And so I did such a good job, and I'm holding it like this, and I could seriously see marks all over it. So that's when I was I'm going to find another one, and I'm going to see if I can get it off with card polish. Ever since I did that, that's been the ticket. So let me show you guys what we're going to do. Remember all the waxy buildup. We'll do, I like to do half of a card at a time, so let's just do that. And once again, guys, if you're just jumping on, removing wax off of a 86 Jordan rookie sticker, and I'm not pushing hard. I'm just making sure that I cover all the factory wax, and then I'm going to wipe it off here in just a second. Okay, and then here's just another quick tip, you guys. Move the card. Don't try to twist yourself around it or work around it too tricky like that. Just move the card so it's comfortable for you. I'm predominantly right-handed when it comes to cleaning cards, so I'll move the card just so I can just. I just made mistakes before, but I know it sounds so simple. Be like, yeah, dude, of course, move it. But like, I don't know. I just like painted myself into a corner when I started working on cards before, and I'd be like, just not even having common sense of like changing the position of it. So think, when you work on your cards, just chill, but think. So check this out. It's all gone. Like, how kick-ass is that, right? That took like 10 seconds. Oh, I'm wrong. There's a little bit left. But just remember that, guys. So if you run into these, waxy buildups that are, coming up on like 40 years old, they're not getting any easier. So just make sure that you aren't scrubbing on them and compromising the surface. Just keep it simple. Just use a little bit of card polish and it'll all be gone in just a few minutes like this. So now you can't see my face, but I'm holding my face like sideways using the light, just making sure I don't leave any more on there. But look at that. Let's look at our lights. Like I told you guys, let's look at the wand light. We're just going to go in the circle light. We're just going to go all the way across it. Let's look if we left any. I want you guys to do the same thing at home, okay? So then let's turn it upside down. Hey, we did it. And that wax stuff, you guys, is only on the back of these cards. It's never on the front. So that looks great, doesn't it? And now there's not a stain. So we're moving, guys. Look, we got a Beam Team done. We got a Jordan done. So we got the 80s and the 90s taken care of. And I'm going to let this card... that's a great question, you guys, when you ask about... I had a question that said, hey, what cloth? Yep, this one I like. And then also, guys, if you use my card care kit, I also, when I'm when I'm going to the card show this weekend, I'll put a couple of these in there because they're small and they fit. I like fluffy microfiber, okay? Fluffy microfiber is awesome for polish removal, okay? No Pokemon tonight, but hey, look I got some coming up. Look none tonight, but look what I got coming your way, guys. We're going to do some more. I got this in a 6 and I got this in a 7 just to crack them open and see what the heck's going on inside. So coming your way, I promise. All right. And to my hockey friends, I got a Gordie Howe coming. I want to see if I can get the yellow out of this card. Pretty yellow, right? So hang tight, guys. I got some cool stuff coming up, I promise you. All right. So let's get MJ off to the side over here, and then let's get Pistol Pete in here. And this would be, I saved this one for last, you guys, because it's really dirty, and I want to see the best we can do. So, every little part of this card has issues, but that makes it fun for a demonstration. Yeah, the corners are pretty beat up. The back isn't too bad. I mean, relatively speaking. So this card was flat, bottom of a box, and this card smells like a cigarette. So I got all that going on. But look this is some sort of it had a plastic, it was between, not penny sleeves, but it was between, remember the pages we put our cards in? This was too tall, so it was stuck between them, and it was at the bottom of a box. Oh man, you guys, I love hockey. I love vintage hockey. I'm a Detroiter, so Gordie Howe and Steve Yzerman are as important as the Pope to my mom and grandma when I was growing up. They would, my grandmother back in in the 40s and 50s ran a switchboard out at the Olympia where the Detroit Red Wings used to play back in the day. So she got to know the play. It was just cool. Detroit was a cool city, and hockey was a big part of it, So I'm just going to start one part at a time on this, you guys. I'm just going to start surface cleaning because, there is stuff all over it. And so what I want to do is just kind of cut it into quadrants and just see how much crap we can remove, okay? Oh, hey, good question. I want to answer this one. Denver Kinnison. How long would you let a card sit before putting it in the sleeve after the applying the polish? I'm going to let it sit for probably 10 minutes, Denver. That's a good question because You want to let the card dry. You want to, sometimes polish can leave a little bit of moisture. Let it dry, let it rest, let it sit, and then put it in there. I'm going to probably leave these on my, probably on my card, on my desk here overnight. So just to sit and chill, because after the show tonight, I usually just try to go to bed. But, so that makes sense, all right? Oh, hey, Vince, what's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. All right, so let's move on here, and we're going to try to get this Pistol Pete tall boy as clean as possible and maybe not smelling like a cigarette anymore. It's a good one, though, all right? So it is, let's start with some card spray. Let's see how far we can go with card spray. I want to see if I can get some of this dirt off the front of the card, you guys, and I want to be careful because I think it's a kick-ass card. It's a cool card to me. Pete Maravich is a remarkable athlete. But let's see if we can get the card looking, somewhat better, because it does look pretty rough. It's working. So I'm gonna start. The reason, you guys, I'm starting with card spray here is because I can see a lot of dirt on the surface. And check it out, it's working. So here's something I want to teach you guys, if I haven't said this yet. Don't keep using the dirty part. So if we want to keep on using this one, which it's okay if you want to keep using it, but let's not use the dirty part. That crap that we're peeling off this card, let's look at the word Pete Maravich. If I can get all that crap off of there, it's time for a new cotton. What up, Ryan? Good to see you, man. Kind of tricky. Bear with me, guys. That's why I did this one last, and hopefully we can make an improvement. And then I'm going to use the dry side and just kind of check where we're at. That's right, Ryan. Nothing like it's like wearing the band's T-shirt of the concert you're at, right? We're all prepping together, watching prepping videos. Man, it's like synergy or something. This is so what I want to do, guys, is ditch this. This is messy. So let's see if I'm a prepared host here and have all good. I'm like, do I have any more of these here with me tonight? Yes, I do. Okay. So not a ton of progress yet, but I got some of the dirt off. So let's keep going. All right. Oh, hey, Ryan. That Ruth came back at 2.5. You got to send me a before and after of that one, man. You guys, one of my buddies on here, Ryan, had adventures in card care, and was able to work out a Ruth that wasn't looking great and got a 2.5. Congratulations, Ryan, man. That is fantastic, especially a card that's 100 years old. Good job, man. And hey, you guys, I never get tired of looking at cool stuff you do. So if you do a great job or something fun, show me, man. I'd love to see it, you guys. Always send me a direct message. I'll always reply. I think we're kind of getting somewhere. It's slow, but it's dirty. It is dirty. Yeah, I got a question that said, hey, are you cleaning similarly to Pack Fresh cards you want to grade 2? You know what? I am going to, being that I'm going to be at the card show this weekend, I already told myself I'm buying a box of something new. And what I was going to do, you guys, tell me if you think this would be cool. I'm going to sit with maybe a little box or a few packs of cards. I'm going to sit with them with painter's tape, card polish, and the corner and edge tool. And we'll just open up packs. And I think if I just have this, card polish, and like I said, the a little bit of tape to clean up the edges. There's a lot of cool stuff we can do with some new cards, so I'm going to do that. All right, so you guys, I'm kind of struggling with this. It looks like it's like oh, actually, it kind of feels gummy. All right, let me change gears. I'm going to card polish, because if it has a waxy residue feel, you guys, card polish will crush it. It'll get it out of there. So let's try that. I can't end on a low note. We got to do a good job with this one. And then I want to at least you guys do the edges and some corner work on it, because it's I probably get some of the most questions are pertain to like how do I work on an edge or a corner, and let's do that tonight. Yeah, that's Pat. Pat, you just said it right. Do you recommend cotton for removing dirt and crap, and then microfiber? Yes, I do. That's ideally. That's you articulated that very well, Patrick. Yes, that's what I try to do, because if I can get the crap off the card, like the dirt and stuff, then I can come in and like polish is both of these things are good. Ooh, look at this. Look how dirty that is. That works. I'm breaking it down, you guys. Here's another thing you gotta be careful of. That's why I always keep a stack of these. Because look they're not supposed to be that dirty. Oh, we're making progress, guys. Hold on, let me show you this. It must have been more of that, whatever settled on this is some sort of plastic base or some sort of oily something or waxy something. Because look at this. Remember the name, how dirty it was? Look at it. And we got a shine back to it. Hey, not bad. One step at a time. And then look that's what we were dealing with, stuff like this. Let's see if we can get all of it off. I feel good now. All right, let's roll. Now look I'm not going to use this one anymore because it's got a bunch of dirt in it. Because if I keep using this, I'm going to scratch a card up. So like, goodbye, right? This one's done. So now let's keep rolling here. That was satisfying. All right, let's see if we can get. Let me see. I want you guys to have a good angle. See this area, how it's got like all that crap in there? Let's try that. And we'll just do. Then you guys look at. It's so simple, right? Just. I'm just gonna apply this right here. But I found, you guys, that's why. I can consistently break down some of this type of stuff, because it's usually dirt, gums, waxes, or oils that usually get on cards, or foods. And even though like they're all a little bit different, there's a lot of times you can make if you got a scratch or missing paint or permanent stuff. I don't have any techniques for permanent stuff, but man, a lot of this stuff, you guys, look at that. That is cool as hell, isn't it? I'm just sorry, guys. I'm reading a few. I just want to make sure I don't leave anybody. Hey, somebody asked me if I have a price list. You guys, all my products are available on my website. I don't have you guys send me the cards. I do all these demonstrations because the stuff I make. If I never made any of this stuff and I just was like, here, buy this and good luck, I think people will be like, well, what the hell do I do with it? So you guys, I am just obsessed with. Well, I love working on cards, but I love doing this because I like to show you how to. What things are possible. So that's what these aren't customers' cards. This is my stuff that I just collect and I like to save for demonstrations with you guys. I've always been really big into taking care of my stuff, and I never since I collected my whole life, I never really had a budget to go out and buy the most expensive stuff, but I could always get on. I'd always buy stuff with little blemishes and just work on it because I enjoyed the projects, and it just feels good to bring something back to life. For me, and I know for a lot of people on this show too, so thank you guys for being a part of the community. Look at this. This is so damn fun. Look at the front of this. I know I'm easily amused, you guys, but let's finish this thing off. See all this at the top? I want to try it now. Let's try to get this stuff off. I know we will. We got all the other crap off. This shouldn't be any different. let me... Hey, Ricardo, that's a great question that you asked. Ricardo just asked me about tape removal. Check this out, you guys. I'm gonna answer that question here in a second. Hey, Matt, what's up, buddy? So I'm not gonna use. You see how dirty they got? We'll be fine because it's just, I can use this side of it, but just always pay attention to your applicators. You don't want to use a dirty one. So tape removal's hard. Okay, so I do have a tape removal video on my YouTube, and I think it's here on Instagram too, where the tape was so old and dry that I was able to use my dental scaler. If you guys ever see me mess around with this thing, this is the thing I use to get if you guys watch me remove the scrapbook paper off a card, I'll use this. But one time I had a card that was old paper on it. It was so dry that I was able to gently scratch all the old tape away. It was really cool. But the more I try that on different cards with tape, I realized it might have been a unicorn, because a lot of the tape is permanently stuck on there. And then a lot of the tape is also stains. It stains the white border behind it. So tape, one of those words I'm trying to say, tape, you guys, is usually a permanent issue when it turns yellow, brown. You know what I mean? Oh, hey, that's a good question, Jack. I'm gonna check it out. Jack said semi-serious question. Does it smell better? You guys, if you just started watching this card and you're just here on the Pete, it smelled like a cigarette. This card it stunk bad, and I was joking about it, but it seriously did. Let me try. I'll tell you if I can still smell it. Yeah, it still smells like a cigarette. I think it's because the back soaks in so much. Yeah, it still smells like a cigarette, I can tell you that. But look at it. Sure doesn't look gross anymore. That is kick-ass, isn't it, you guys? But we're not done. Don't go anywhere. I want to see if we got some dents here on the side, okay? Smoking Pete, man. I think the basketball players could smoke cigarettes when they played back in these days. I don't think it was uncommon to see these guys sitting on the bench smoking a cigarette before they had to get back into the game. You know what I mean? It was probably a game-used cigarette. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, if you soaked it, the smell would probably go away. Look at this though. Isn't this fun? Here's our tools from this card. So we got that and that, all from one card. Isn't that cool? And look how clean that thing is. That was That's what, here, I got some good light for you. That's some of the dirtiest applicators I had from one card in a long time. That was satisfying as hell. No, hey, that's not a dumb question at all. Cool Collectibles said, can you use the polish on the back of the card? A lot of cards you can. You don't want... Here's what... I'm so glad that you asked that, okay? So check this out. Anytime that you guys have a card that has whether it is a Pokemon card that has a plastic, like a clear coat on the front, right? Or if it has a polyurethane surface on the front, it's all good. And you're like, well, I don't know all those materials you just said. As long as it has a natural shine to it, you're cool. But we go to the back, no shine, just raw paper, okay? So if you put card polish on here, it would just make it wet, and it wouldn't do anything good. So no reason to do it, okay? So only stick on the fronts with like that, and look at that. This card did not look like this 20 minutes ago. So that is kick-ass. So let's just, before I let you guys go, if you guys don't mind, I want to do as much as I can with this card. So there's just a few things. So let's go to the back. I want to save these. These are fun. I'm going to use these in my after picture. Pretty dirty. Was. And if you guys are just joining in, thanks for joining in. And if you want to see all the other stuff we worked on tonight, we did so far, we're on the Pistol Pete. We did a Jordan. And we did a Beam team, David Robinson. So those both cleaned up really well. Tonight's been good. What's up, you guys? Thanks for being here, guys. And again, I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. Thanks so much for being here and watching tonight's presentation. So yes, you can do the front and back of Pokemon cards, and you're fine there because they have Pokemon's nice because they're made to be played, you know. So they're cards that can be handled. sports cards are a lot less protected in most times. So what I'm doing here, you guys, is I just want to get these corners of just they don't need a ton, but you see how they're just kind of creased and a little bit wrinkled? I'm just going to do that. Oh, it'd be better if you can see, sorry. I'm just adding, it might look like I'm soaking them, but I'm not. I'm just adding a little bit of moisture on the top of these. It's just that this card is a very dry card, so it takes it in, the moisture in real easy. But I don't want to go through a full-blown, like, super, I don't want to make them super wet, but you see that corner's wrinkled? If you get good with card spray, you guys, you can use it for so many things, and sometimes it's just doing little things like this. I'll show you something kind of cool. So we'll let that just kind of get in there for a second. And then you can just put a penny sleeve on, get your card tool out. It's almost just like shoveling out those little wrinkles. I'm just using the bottom of that tube just to barely make contact, and I'm just kind of just gently dancing over that little spot. And if you notice, I just put such a light amount of card spray on here that it's like literally drying in front of our eyes, right? You don't need to make it super, super wet. That's not even, doesn't have to be done that way. But like, let's let this dry and check this out. Isn't that cool? No more wrinkles. I'll tell you what, that is cool as hell, isn't it? And that took like 2 seconds. Let's do the same thing over here. So just a little bit of moisture. Put it on there, and let's just do the little bit of the card tool. Just almost like I'm just kind of like unpacking where it was hit in. And I'm barely touching it, guys. That's the key. I'm barely touching it. All right. Yeah, if you're working on TCG, you can get little dents out this way to a degree. But there's some really, see, isn't that cool? No more wrinkle. Same there. Now let's do this bottom one. See that one? Let's get that to go away. Yeah, Sundry. I always say people's names wrong. Sundry Selects. I think you know who I'm talking to. He asks, is the clear tube plastic on the card tool? Yes. It's like it's this nice, hard, firm vinyl I like. It's almost like, so here's the origin, you guys. I'm a hands-on person, right? So I always used to use the back of my fingernails. I play the guitar with my thumb and my finger too. Like, I'll sometimes use a pick, but I like to use my thumb and fingernails even playing the guitar. I like to use them for cards, like edges and stuff like that. So I used this tool right here so I can see through it. So that's why I use it clear, so I can see what the heck I'm doing. But I also just like to have just like a precise little touch point like that. And I like that it's curved, right? That way I'm not going to catch a corner or an edge. It's just a safe little thing to use when you need to get into a small spot. So like, for example, like I couldn't, like when I was a kid, I would get these corners like a little bit wet and try to work them with my fingernail. Kind of just doing years of stuff like that led me to like kind of just make it a little bit easier. And that's when I got the tool, or started making this card tool years back, because just shoving your thumbnail on everything isn't the right way. I'm like, I got to be a little bit more precise. So I'm just going the opposite of the way that bump was in there. And I just put such a small amount on there that it's going to dry real quick. Because, you know, sometimes you guys, right, will have guys send me a picture and they're like, Kurt, I got a stained corner from the card spray. What am I doing wrong? Well, you're not doing anything wrong. You're learning, but you're putting too much moisture on there. All you need is such a small amount like this where it's drying right in front of our faces. And if you guys can also notice, what else is happening? There's no more crease and there's no more dent in that corner. Isn't that cool? And it's just like, well, even with my breath, I can speed up the process. But let's get the thing that I noticed on this one too was there was like rubber band marks or something hits on the side. There we go. Those. All right. So what do I want to do here? Let's think. All right, I know what I want to do. So hold on. I'm gonna. Paul, good to hear you, man. Good to see you. I know everybody's Instagram handle, but it's like I meet everybody in person. I'm like, what's your name? What's your name? So forgive me in advance, you guys. If we meet in person, I see you at a show or something like that, and I'm like, what's your name in person? I guess it's easy to remember mine, but like everybody's got cool Instagram handles, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're this. I always know you by a different name, but yeah, no problem, you guys. I'm happy that you're watching. So let's try to get this out, okay? So here's what I want to do. I'm going to use a little touch of card spray, and if you guys can see what I'm dealing with here, it's like dense on this edge. I don't want to just try to smooth them out or push them back down, because if you guys can see, they're kind of defined. And if I push them back down, I'm just going to create like a weird half moon looking thing. I have to like treat them. So what I'm going to do is, this is one of the things where I just want you to practice this move. I'm just going to do a little bit of card spray, almost like I'm painting it. And you can also, guys, you can also use a paintbrush if you like to paint. You can always use this little Q-tip. But I have a couple guys that always use paintbrushes, and they show me, they're like, why don't you use a paintbrush? You know, I like to paint and I like to draw, but I'm like, well, I'm just used to using these. Okay, let's watch it. Let's see what happens. So right now we're watching this grow. Looks like it's growing back into place. See what we did? All it took to get this activated was just a little bump of card spray. Now, I know you can still see it. We're working on these two bumps right there. But now I have a little bit more confidence to touch them, because I know that we got a little bit of moisture in there. Not much. But here's the thing. I have to use a touch of moisture there and a light hand, because you guys know, where's my vintage people at? If I just start pushing on this thing without a little bit of moisture, or putting it in a humidor or something like that, I can crack this white paint very easily, because it's old and it's dry, you know? And I'm looking up at my question board here. I got a question or a comment, which I'm happy to get. Somebody wrote me, hey, Kurt, can you try using the humidor on modern Pokemon illustration rates? I noticed a common problem when you use it on them. How about this? If you're still watching, brother, send me a message tomorrow about what data you get from using humidity, and I'll take a look, and I'll point you in the right direction. All right? So thanks for that, you guys. Thanks for always bringing me good information, guys. Hey, don't be afraid of like using your finger too. Like, I always want to feel if I'm going back, if it's in like the right plane. I'm not pushing on it. I just want to feel what the card's supposed to feel like. I shouldn't feel any bumps going down the edge. Still there a little bit. Thanks, you guys, for everybody for hanging tonight. I know when we do 3 cards, it takes like an hour, but this one was awesome. I love this one, and let's take a look at our edge and see how we did. How easy is that? Everybody watching this can do that. All gone. No more nasty bumps. Or nasty hit on the side. We got any over here? Oh, we got one more. All right, guys, hang out. Let's do one more. It's right there. It's those little nicks that are like lifted right there is what I'm trying to get rid of. Hang out. We got one more. And then I want to thank you guys again. And hey, if you guys are in the Metro Detroit area or going to be this weekend, we finally got like a really good card show. I've heard all about it, and I'm excited to go. It's we got Detroit. I think this is called the Detroit Card Show. So we're gonna do the same thing, guys. I'm just gonna touch this right here. But it makes me happy because there's so many great collectors in Metro Detroit. We collect all kinds of stuff. Like, you go to a Metro Detroit card show, it's not like when I go to Philly or something. It's like very Philly, like Philly fans, Philadelphia people collect their sports teams. Detroit, we collect our Tigers and stuff like that a bit, but like since a lot of our teams like suck, we collect everything. So it's like you'll find music stuff at these card shows. You'll find cool history stuff. I mean, of course, all the standards like cool cards and stuff like that, but it's just not all like it's not all Lions cards. You know what I mean? It's like a bunch of stuff. You know. Mark, good question. Mark just asked me, hey, would I put this card between plates to flatten the edges? You know what, Mark, what I'm contemplating? I am thinking to myself, how do I want to let this card rest overnight? I think I'm going to put it between two pads, and I think I'm going to put it between plates, Mark. So, very good idea. You're reading my mind. It's funny that you said that, dude. I'm sitting here going, all right, what do I want to do? How do I want to let this thing rest overnight? I'm like, I didn't get it too wet, so I'm not afraid that this card's going to like curl on me or anything like that. But I do want to get these edges and corners to stay in place. So I do think we're going to have to do that. So hang with me, guys, for 5 more minutes, and I'll let you get on to the next show or to the next thing. I just want to make sure I'm showing you guys the best stuff I know how to do here with these paper cards. Oh, that is so good, man. That worked out. I'm proud of that one, man. That is sweet. So if you guys find some dirty cards with all that going on, man, clean them up. All right, so let's go through a checklist here. Yeah, that was a good one, man. Thank you guys for watching that one. And let me do this. I want to say thank you to all of you guys, too. Yo, what's going on, you guys? Thanks for joining Wednesday Night Live tonight, and thanks for just like all the great feedback and camaraderie. So what I'm going to do with the Maravich card for the night, I'm going to put another pad on top of it. What we're going to do is, because here's the thing, since we just did the edges on it and the corners, I just want them to stay that way. Even though it was like a simple move, I don't want to keep doing it. I don't want to keep going back and forth. So check it out. We're going to put it right between our card pads. And then I'm going to use, if you don't mind, stay right there. I'm not going to clip it, though, because it doesn't need to be pinched down or held tight or anything like that. I mean, you could if you wanted. But what I'm talking about is I'm just going to leave it like this for tonight. But just as soon as I say that, you know what I thought of? I hate the chance of just that me not being mindful and like grabbing these things, and whenever I see clips on something, I never grab at it. I'm always like, oh, there's a card in there. So if it just helps you like remember, put your clips on it. But I'm gonna take after pictures tomorrow, you guys, because we did a lot of good stuff tonight. And thank you guys, like always. I know I try to be quick and to the point and like, you know, do as many as we can, but sometimes it just takes a minute. So thank you guys for that. And let me read. I want to read the questions and see if I missed anything, okay? My eyes are getting tired, so bear with me while I squint up here. Oh, good, you guys. Everybody. And you know, here's the things, you guys. You always hear me like stress. Work on base cards. Work on base cards. I think you guys understand that. I mean, we don't want to make any mistakes. You know, with card care, sometimes you can't fix the cards because you're dealing with permanent stuff. But I don't ever want you to go backwards. I don't want you to create any damage, you know what I mean? So, like, always practice on your base cards, but just have fun with it. Get out your stuff. Like, that, I'm sure you guys, that Pistol Pete card, I don't know how to guess. It may be worth $10 or something like that. I'm sure my Jordan card here is, you know, worth, you know, hundreds, maybe even $1,000 if it gets graded well. But I like doing the Pete the best. Like, that was my favorite card tonight because it was awesome. It just worked out great. That was the most satisfying one for me. So thank you for that. I got a good question here. You know what? Let me. While I have you guys, I won't talk too long, but just let me explain this because it's a question I get a lot. Gabe, thanks for asking the question. Gabe said, "What kit should I buy to start?" So, like, number one, it just kind of depends on what you guys collect, but I'd say you're probably going to run into the same issues that I run into. So here's what it is. Like, this is going to do a ton for you. Just my card care kit that has a little bit of everything in it. But I also make, you guys, on my website now, I have a thing called the vintage bundle. What the vintage bundle really is, you guys, and it's a vintage bundle, but what it really is I've noticed that a ton of guys that collect cards, vintage cards, like paper cards, buy one of these and one of these all the time. So what I did was I noticed that, so I put these two together and I took $10 off. And then I was like, I know what they're buying it for. They're working on their paper cards. So then I added card mats to it. I added a microfiber to it, and I put in a couple applicators, and I call it the vintage bundle. Basically, it's a $10 discount on these two, and I throw in some stuff that you're going to need, like card mats and stuff like that. And but the card care kit, if you're not, and remember guys, every card doesn't need to be soaked unless you're buying like the dirtiest of the dirty cards. Then yes, go ahead and soak them. A lot of cards you can use just a couple sprays on the mats and get them back in shape. So I'd say like probably the best thing to get first would probably be like the card care kit, unless you're just going to work on, because I use my card tool all the time, and that comes in the kit. If you just use a couple, this probably has 300, 400 sprays in it. So if you're just working on light corners, light edges, not full-blown dirty cards that would have to be soaked out, card care kit will last you a long time. But then there's crazy people like me and you guys that like will go through one of these every 2 days. And then I got this group cleaners and group submitters that go through it all day, every day. So I understand. But I say for average collector, that if you're just going to work on a few cards a week that aren't super, super dirty, card care kit will last you a long time. The only thing you guys are going to have to buy more of on Amazon is like applicators. What else, you guys? All this stuff's cheap though, and it's like super valuable stuff to have, because like microfibers, things like that, all that stuff is pretty cheap. But like this will last. I mean, you can probably do 200, 250 cards with one can of card polish. So I hook it up with my stuff, but you'll just have to get more applicators. So I know it's a long answer, Gabe, to your simple question, but I get that question a lot, so I just wanted to make sure. But you guys, I hope tonight was cool. I hope that helped out. I will post the before and afters tomorrow. And if you have any follow-up questions, hit me up anytime. I hope your summer's off to a good start. If you're going to the Detroit Card Show this weekend, make sure you say hi. And if I don't see you there, I'll be at the East Coast at the end of this month, coming out to Rhode Island to the Crown Jewel Card Show. Looking forward to that. So take care of yourself and take better care of somebody else. Talk to you soon. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care.